Hello and welcome to another video. So the wonderful world of quilting has become me and my mum's latest obsession. We have been binge watching lots of YouTubers making their own, like the lovely Last Homely House, Just Get It Done Quilts and a few others. We love watching this calming craft take place and how it yields a beautiful, colourful quilted blanket that keeps you busy on approaching winter nights, is functional, and you get a blanket that implements century-old techniques and can be sewn with as much history, time and meaning as you want to put into it. So, as we were watching the showcase of the latest Festival of Quilts on YouTube, we were inspired to finally take the plunge on making our very first quilt. Now, this is more of a mum project, but I'm going to be documenting the process and we are working together on it. So initially we started to hunt down a pattern that we liked. The look of, we wanted something fairly simple for a beginner, but not just simple squares. We initially liked this free pattern from So Can She called the Fat Quarter Fancy, which looked complex in theory, but in theory is very simple. But we had another look around and found this one by Bloomsbury called the Lighthouse Window, which has a central octagon motif which we loved. Our initial idea for the quilt was to use the theme of 4 seasons and graduate them outwards into the different octagon borders, but this may change as we progress. With the pattern secured, it was time to take a trip to Sligo to the craft and sewing basket to secure a few extra pieces of fabric and some supplies we needed. So welcome to the first video detailing our adventure into quilting, and let's get into the vlog. So we got our bus after looking a long time at the timetable, trying to figure out the mess that is the Irish Times, and we ended up in Sligo eventually, and it's always raining in Sligo. Walked around this industrial zone trying to find the shop, which we then realised wasn't there and had removed and rebranded in the Sligo town. So we were walking all around the back streets of Sligo and I had a strained foot and it was not getting any better. And there's the foot in question. Then we found it.
She is Adelaide. Are you ready to get some fabrics?
And we were looking at the shop and it literally looked closed.
It doesn't look open. Is it open? Please push it open. Yes!
So after our stressful journey all the way to Sligo on public transport, we had made it to the fabric shop. We were there, we were looking at the sale stuff, we were ready to go and find our quilting fabric.
What kind of fabric is it you need to back with? Just cotton.
Cotton. Right. Also, what is it about me that I'm drawn to animal print? Like immediately I will go and try and find animal print. I don't even wear it that much. So look at all these fabrics, super cute little designs, animals, cute things. Oh, and look, I was drawn to animal print again.
All the pieces.
A lot of Christmas ones. So let me debrief for you. We wanted more autumn colours and we needed border, sides and some big triangle corner pieces. So we were looking for fabrics like that with a William Morris look, florals, autumn patterns, autumnal patterns, things like that. That's what we were after.
Got loads of nice autumny ones here. Like these orangey ones. That's quite nice. Old style. Oh, look at this one, Mum. With like little squirrels and things on it. It's got little toads. Little toads.
Also, Mum loves birds and naturey themed things, so looking out for that. Unfortunately, they didn't have that many bird fabrics, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, loads of plains as well, loads of plain fabrics. And they also had those horrible gnomes. I hate those gnomes. So after touching all these fabrics and checking most of them out, I thought I would check out the rest of the shop as well. And they had tons of stuff, like tons of embroidery thread, any colour you could want, it's there. They also had tons of embroidery things, including this little frog thing. First one to smell wins. Didn't realise it had to be put into competition. But they had also lots of little needlepoint patterns as well. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I like doing needlepoint. There was this kind of funny cat, marmalade cat one, which was kind of cute. I probably would have picked that up, but I am trying to be strict with myself and not take on any more projects until I finish other ones. So yeah, they had loads of just needlepoint, cross-stitch designs, funny cats and cottages and that kind of traditional kitschy kind of stuff. They also had some needlepoint cushion designs, quite pricey, but then anything needlepoint normally is pretty pricey. And a few little cross-stitch letter monogram ideas. They had so much wool. Like if I was a knitter, this is probably what heaven is. I mean, I'd say so. I mean, look at all this wool. It reminded me of that scene from Trunchbull with the cake, but with wool. You wanted wool, you got wool. Now buy it. They also had tons of needlepoint wools, all sorts of shades. I was buying these online and it was nice to see them in person. And massive canvases as well.
That's nice.
Mm.
That would be nice along the edges or something. Yeah, because that would actually tone in with the design, the pattern design, because it has kind of a dark teal. And these little chicken ones are kind of cute. I like those chicken ones. You kind of go with all these tones, you can't really go wrong. I mean, look. Yeah.
Here we were trying to decide what piece of fabric to go in the corner sections. We wanted something that would contrast nicely with the dark borders and not be too dark but still match the rest of it. It's kind of hard to describe like what our thought process here was. I mean, just kind of picking what we liked really. I was suggesting some creams maybe, but yeah.
That's quite nice too.
Yeah.
Oh look, honeycomb.
Also, big shout out to the Craft and Sewing Basket staff. They were really helpful and super nice with our lengthy decision process.
That would look nice though, it would kind of mirror things a bit. So we've got these. See, all these quarters don't necessarily come in packs, they're just kind of the one piece. And we need to get binding as well, binding tape. Can't forget that, yep. Too kitty. These nuns are really nice though. Quite like these, especially that pink one. They've got one here with like owls on it. It's not. Oh no to the owl. Cats. Something. I don't know though. I think you're gonna get them home and you're gonna be like, I don't like them with these ones. So I'd get a few more little pieces of these, maybe just to have a few more options.
Half a metre.
I don't know. I'll show the woman the measurements. I'd go for that one, but they're both nice.
So at this point we had pretty much decided the main ones that we were going to get. We had decided for the border pieces and picked up a few just generally nice ones that went with. They also had a lot of fat quarters as well, in singles and in packs as well. They also had all the squares pre-cut, which was pretty cool, and a ton of jelly rolls that make it easier for you to quilt.
2,000 years later.
So we must have spent at least 2 hours in the shop, at least. So yeah, we just got them all cut to the sizes we needed, and then we went and bought the wadding that was going to go in the middle of the quilt. And I was also looking at these satin fabrics, which I have a project that I have in mind of transforming my single feather duvet into this eider down and kind of making a cover for it, and then sewing the pattern into it. I don't know, let me know if you'd like to see that attempt.
A few inches later.
And we were out of the shop. My foot was absolutely killing, kind of limping on it slightly, but we had secured our goodies.
What you got then?
Very happy with it. No, it's very
So
happy.
it was quite expensive in the end, though.
It's this.
Yeah, because I mean the ones that you've got on the online, like say the quilt that we're doing,
Yeah.
it doesn't have batting in it. It's
No.
just a what is it?
If you buy
It's just like what we've got on the bed at the
you buy the
moment.
quilt kits online, you don't get
Yeah.
the batting.
Yeah,
You just get the top.
yeah.
The batting or the backing or something.
No, but I mean you don't have to. I mean that's what you're making a like super comfy quilt now
Yeah.
because it's extra warm. So we'll see when we get home. What goes and go.
Kind of.
I mean, what we've picked up will definitely go together. I
Yes.
think maybe just wheedle out some of the really brighter tones.
This is lovely.
Yeah, it's nice.
So then we quickly nipped to Penny's, had a quick look around. If we had used our big brains, we could have thought before we went and thought, oh, we could get backing fabric off the duvets, the cheap duvets in Penny's, and use those. Or maybe if they had nice patterns on the duvets, we could have used those, like that, for example. So yeah, this might be a good idea for another project. Maybe make a quilt on the cheap using these type of fabrics and cutting them up and making all sorts of things. We also seen this fleece, which was kind of similar, a brushed cotton, I think. And we thought, oh no, we could have saved some money, but oh well, it doesn't matter now, it's done.
See, they've got stuff around here, look. Little flowers. You know, some little flowers or Mickey even. That's quite nice because that's actually got a little piece of embroidery on it. Yeah.
So if you think that's a good idea to maybe make a Primark inspired fabric only quilt on the cheap, let us know and maybe we can do that in the future. They also had some funky little candles and candle holders, and then I spotted a frame which was super cheap, only $1.50, and I nabbed that. I didn't steal, I did pay for it when I say nabbed. Then that was it. Then we went home. I bought some highly expensive raspberries and spied on our nice little fabric that was sticking out and waited on a bus. The first bus was full, and then we thought we were going to get stuck in Sligo, and it was a whole stressy thing, but then this little man saved us in his little local link bus, so thanks to him, and we got home on the bus without having to use the train. So that was good, and then we said bye-bye to Sligo because we had had enough of Sligo.
Bye-bye, Sligo. Bye-bye.
Then I ate the rest of my raspberries like a maniac on the bus. And yeah, that was it. Straight through, reminded me of that scene from Get 'Em to the Greek. And just had an hour and a half trip back to where we live. So yeah, that was our journey all the way to Sligo. Bit of a stress with the transport, but it worked out. We got the fabric, it was all good. So I will show you this little haul when we get back.
6.5 hours later.
Hello! We're back from Crafter's Basket up in Sligo, and I thought I would show you a little haul of all our fabrics and things that we got for this quilt project that we are doing. Excuse my weird outfit. I've got a Bugsy jumper on. I take him everywhere I go. Okay, so this is the fabric we got. This little yellow, small cottagey fabric. We also got this, which is really pretty. Kind of a classic chinoiserie fabric. Very sweet. We're going to put this in the corners of the quilt design. I will put up a little picture of what we mean. And then we got these deeper toned fabrics for the outer edges, and the idea was to kind of go for a William Morris look to them, so this was kind of what we got that was similar. And we also got another one that's quite similar to that style, very cute. And this one, which has more of a 70s vibe, also very similar, very small, deep floral, very nice. So yeah, that was all we got for our trip, but we also got this big bag, which is, hold on, wadding? I don't know, I think it's wadding. It's a very soft, quite warm, thick fleece fabric. I think we got this in about 90 inch by 90. Not quite sure because I wasn't listening to the measurements when we got it, but our finished quilt is going to be 76 inches by 76 inches, so enough to cover and over the edges of a double bed. So this is what's going to happen. We didn't get any backing fabric yet, but we'll do that eventually. We've got a few threads. These two Gutermann threads, which one in a grey and one in a white cream, which should blend in with all the fabrics we have. So here's another little close-up of fabrics. Very dark, deep, colourful fabrics. And then this a more lighter contrast one, which is very cute, very like, I imagine this would be the kind of pattern that you get on like tea sets and teapots and things. And then this simple one. I will be showing you the other fabrics we also have, and then we are going to be putting them all together and seeing what matches and goes with the pattern that we have. Okay, so we also have a bit of an Amazon haul. Didn't want to buy from Amazon, but couldn't find anywhere else that did these kits without buying everything separately. So we didn't have that many tools for our quilting journey, so we decided to buy a quilt kit which has a cutting mat, which I'll show you. So a cutting mat which has all these angles and crazy little angles and things on them, which my math brain is not going to understand. Also came with this very unusual ruler, which has all these like measurements on them for like angles for you to cut out your triangles and things. Very mathy, don't know how to use that. Also came with the most dangerous pizza cutter slicer, which is a fabric thing. You just go like that. Some pins, measuring tape, and some little clippy things for fabric, I don't know. So we've got a few more extra bits now. What we really wanted was this and cutting board, so we just got those. And that's pretty much it. The mat's self-healing, so it won't it'll kind of protect itself and like float back up, I don't know. Something weird like that. So yeah, this is the start of our quilting journey. It's exciting, and Mum's a little bit apprehensive about cutting all the shapes right, but we'll see how far we get with this. So at the moment we are just washing all the fabrics, because we have a load of fat quarters that we've gotten from shops like Lidl and Aldi, and we've kind of collected a few bits and bobs that we liked. So those are going to be washed because they are not shrunk, and I'll show you some footage now of that because it's a whole mess. We also went to Penny's and I picked up a little frame. This little frame which I showed in my little clip when I was in there, and I popped my, you won't see the reflection, but it's just an oriental frame that my uncle gave me years ago, and it's always lying around and I never had anything nice to put it in. So I've popped it in this cute frame with silver accents on it, which goes with the fan. And I mounted it on top of black paper, but I painted it with, what is it called? The super black paint that I was going on about in a previous video, but it actually really makes it pop out and it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna put that up on my wall at some point. Also just picked up a few clips because mine are always breaking. And just this crazy scarf, which I really liked because it looked like Harlequin and like kind of some kind of weird circus clown. I'm just gonna put it on. So yeah, this is gonna be my winter look now. I'm gonna go full clown with this. I really like it, it's cute. So that was all I got in that was all I got in pennies or Primark, or whatever you want to call it. So just stay tuned for the next one and I will show you all the other fabrics and how we're going to lay them out. And hopefully we won't go crazy with trying to decide these things, because it's quite difficult to try and figure out all these things and make sure certain things are matching. So I'm gonna go through that process and then eventually see where that goes and takes us. So stay tuned for the I've got a random button here. So stay tuned for the next episode where I will be showing you a little bit more about our process of how we're going to put these fabrics together, and I will do a little bit more of a detailed tour on the pattern that we're using and how that's going to go. So bye. Quilting journey. Quilting journey. Quilting journey. Okay, bye.